game in there. Okay, I'm now live. And you're now live. I turned my notifications on YouTube so that I can catch your live streams if I'm able to.
Forgot what we're up to.
I think we have to pick up grass. I think we'll have to windrow it.
Right.
It's all just sitting there.
Yep, I see.
Yeah, I gotta get mine up too.
And we'll
There's that one.
We'll talk later about my but for the time being here, it's like, yeah, everybody's sharing their texting, pictures around. Storm. It's raining here.
Yep.
But it'll.
There we go.
Live on YouTube.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. What's up?
Are you live on YouTube right now?
Yep, YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, there. But anyway, yeah, well, we got a little hail here, and throughout the day it was kind of storm coming. It's like blizzarding there, and but yeah, what was happening kind of over there is what cruised across us. I mean, we didn't get any of that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe out in eastern Nevada or something.
Yeah.
I think it blew through there and then had stuff across the state because like Mom was saying, it was just rain. They had you guys just down there, I guess.
Yeah, they were expecting stuff yesterday everywhere, but it just never developed except for the rain. And some places around here got like, I heard Grand Island Wood River got like 5 inches, and McCook got like, or no, maybe I take that back. I think McCook got 5 inches, and Grand Island Wood River got 4. We got 2.
Yeah, like I said, it's raining now. It's supposed to turn to snow, and of course it's been warm, so what accumulation we'll have last weekend, it was like whiteout conditions for like an hour last weekend, and it was, that's the crazy thing is then it was like 80 degrees the next day, but it was just barely cold enough to snow. Blizzarding. Weird part.
Why is my... It's like everything reset on my streams. Like my Facebook isn't.
Well, I noticed the YouTube was second.
Yeah, I think for some reason all my streams reset. I got the YouTube back up.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I don't have the.
allergies.
The heck?
Yeah, because it says you
Oh,
were.
it says I'm offline.
Well, right,
Oh,
because it said you were
well,
like.
it completely. Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah, because it said like it was like a 44-second.
Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no, that
haven't
was
figured out
weird.
a good way to
But
start this.
it's funny. So on YouTube, it switched over to your stream.
Uh,
Um, yeah, it's switched over to your stream for some reason. Went from my 44-second stream to your stream, and then the only reason I knew that I wasn't streaming was because of Facebook.
well, that's one thing about the little restream chat box deals. It shows at least what's active. It's a little, like I said, it's a desktop utility.
Yeah.
It's just a small little program, and it's just the chat box which it plays from the platform. I guess kind of. I think though is when the people on YouTube, Twitch, somebody on YouTube says restream commented, it doesn't necessarily show a user. uh, I heard the notification.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm trying to get
there you are.
I'm
Yeah.
still trying to get my Facebook pulled up. Um, got the
Usually,
new monitor tonight.
say what?
I got the new monitor tonight.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you
I
ordered
don't
it
have
so
it.
quick.
Yeah, that 27-inch that I sent
Is
you guys, I ordered.
Yeah, okay. No, I figure it's like, well, if you hate it or it doesn't seem like it's what you wanted, it's like, pretty easy.
Says I'm streaming on Facebook. Why isn't it popping up? Gotta love technology sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. I've never, and I did my first ever live stream ever in like
Oh, there we
2014.
go. There we go.
It's like I
Okay.
still haven't figured out a good way to start up the stream without it seeming like a cluster. Like, oh, gotta
Yeah.
get this going, gotta get that going. Oh, and granted, I suppose I could watch some videos on like better better setup or something, but I don't
You
know.
know what
I've watched.
I really want right now? I don't, and I got the idea from Streamlabs, but I don't want to pay $20 a month for it. Is I would like to get some overlays to make it look a little bit
Right.
more
Well, I
professional.
tell you what, you can make and do your own. I'm sure it's doable in Streamlabs because it's doable in OBS. It's just watch some tutorials because there's a, you don't have to pay, or well, say that. I don't know for sure because Streamlabs could lock that out, but like with OBS, it's just another uh part of the scene. I mean, granted, I'm not doing anything too fancy, but I have their graphic up. I whisk X, and I have
Mhm.
your Twitch, and that's your Twitch handle. But, I have my crawl there, which that's of course easy to, but it's just like putting those on there. Set it up as an image or whatever, but like what you need is you gotta whatever graphic or whatever you make, you just got to make sure it's a background.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you know, watch some videos. They're depend on what you want. Again, it's kind of like the T-shirt deal. I mean, pretty easy in theory, but you gotta make the graphic or find the graphic or I mean, you gotta figure out what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Are you trying to frame it? Like for example, my Atari stream I did there for a little bit. I kind of had like what looked like an old TV framed around the game or what.
Yeah.
That's just set up as as like a source in OBS, similar in stream. That TV was just on a transparent background, so like whatever's underneath, and layered, so it's whatever's underneath it. How that works.
Yeah.
So if that's sort of the thing you're kind of going for, or logo or whatever, that's you don't need to pay $20 to or some sort of subscription for access.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I was
I wouldn't think you could. I think the whole subscribing is they have preloaded, and it's kind of point and click, and that's the value you get from paying the money, is like, or a yeah, just click and done for
yeah.
you. Or they have themes.
And that's what I was gonna do. Is I wanted to
But
I wanted the theme. I guess I got kind of inspired by casuals.
yeah, but like that's something you can figure out on figure out something on without
Yeah.
that much too.
Well, I kind of like having the top chatters like I do on the top of my Twitch
Well,
streams,
I do
but
like that. I mean, like, I wouldn't know how to. That's a streamline thing.
just a text. I have to I retype it in every week if
Oh,
it
okay.
changes.
See, I thought that was an automatic deal, but still,
Uh-uh.
I mean, but that's kind of the same deal. Is just instead of text, you choose a uh, source or whatever, and you image and upload it. And you got to make sure it's be able to see around it. Got to make sure background.
Yeah.
But like
So kind of
you
get
could have a GIF. So for example, you'd have like a flame. How you could have a flaming skull, or something. Oh, that's just
yeah.
yeah in the corner.
So kind of getting back to the monitor because that's kind of where I
Right.
was going before we got off to the overlays. So I ordered the 27-inch because this 24. I know part of it is because it's such an old TV, it's not as clear from
Yeah.
the distance that it's sitting at. But so I wanted the 27-inch, and I ordered the. I think it's a gaming monitor, but I was hoping that the graphics on it would be a lot clearer too. So being slightly bigger and then being uh you know a gaming monitor, hopefully it's clear enough that the distance that I'll have it'll be
Yeah.
good.
I
And then I got the UPS this week. Actually, I bought that before I bought the monitor because I
yeah.
got to thinking about what you said.
Well,
So
it's
so
cheap and it's cheap
that's why I got
insurance.
all that stuff.
It's cheap insurance, and it'll save mainly your power supply.
Yeah.
From just regular old everyday potential voltage drops or spikes or whatever. Better way, it's better than a surge protector, especially in the summertime when everybody kicks their ACs on and have that voltage drop. I mean, I guess that's a thing. Modern fridges and stuff with all the electronic crap. That's what can kill those,
Hmm.
stuff like that. People realize it. That's why actually this day and age with all tech TV, that stuff, tech stuff, my whole house surge protectors are kind of a smart thing to install for resale value. Save your fridge compressor,
Hmm.
mainly the PC, especially. And then again, like I said, you get a power blip or something, gives you time to properly shut it down.
Yeah. Well, I'd be more like in this game. I just want enough time to save everything.
Yeah, well, that too. That that's what it would do. Like me, like power outages that last a long time are pretty darn rare, but do have the 5 minute, 10 minute deals.
Hmm.
So this, yeah, it gives me time to shut it down. And you don't have water cooling. That's another thing. I have water cooling. I got a pump in there. Good to sit there and be able to keep running and it off and kill the pump, and then my CPU overheats, and like, with an air cooler, it's less of a less of a issue, I guess you could.
Yeah.
That pump goes out, that kills. Now, power supply, in the grand scheme of things, ain't the worst thing if it goes. Take other things that if it kills itself, those are cheap. Buy and replant easy. You is what
Mm.
makes the damn thing. So that's gone. That's it's not the most graphics cards that, but there, but no, it's the second most expensive thing in there.
Yeah.
that's that's good reason I have it, because shut it down so it's down and doesn't break the.
Yeah.
And like if you modem or your Wi-Fi internet is close by, you could plug that in there. It doesn't draw that much power, so still have power goes out. A lot of times you don't localized, you don't town, won't lose internet. You don't even have internet. Yeah, that's what I have. Wi-Fi and all that. Still have, as long as it doesn't, whatever's going on, doesn't take out the internet. Internet.
Hmm.
So
Which
that's
I'm
just something
waiting
to
for him
think
to give
about.
me that. Speaking of the internet, they got the box mounted to my house for the fiber, and so now
Okay.
I'm just waiting for him to call me to do the install.
Well, it'll be pretty. I mean, I don't necessarily know if you'll difference, but it'll just be a lot better. In
I'll if nothing else, I'll notice a difference when the weather comes
Yeah,
around
it'll be
because
more it'll
last
be
night,
reliable. That's the thing.
yeah, because last night the internet went out at 9:30, and then I woke up early this morning, so I was like, well, I'll go watch some YouTube before I have to get ready for work. Well, the internet was out, and I was like, well, maybe it was still out from the storm last night, and so I went to go to work, and I realized like the fog was so thick I couldn't even see the water tower from the street as I was driving. And I'm like, well, no wonder I don't have internet.
Well, that's the thing. It's reliability, but should probably notice the difference. And again, up your check your upload speeds and all that. You should upload
I'm
bit
I'm
rate.
gonna have to. Also gonna have to. I'm gonna mess around with my bill a little bit because I went with what they recommended, but according to what I'm running now, I could maybe go the next tier down and save another $10.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you probably, yeah. and it's because fiber is just a lot better connection. You don't need
I mean,
nobody really needs like the
like we've talked about in the past, how the connection I have now has done as good as it has been, you know.
yeah.
Um, so that makes me kind of think that maybe I don't need what they recommend.
No,
Maybe I just need the next one down.
I just am envious of you'll have what's called a balanced connection. You'll have basically the same upload speed as you have download.
Mm,
Mine's like most cited like 10 up, but which not bad, but my download speed is like 350 or 400. And it's like, okay, I'd rather, you know, I don't 350 400. It's like just again like interneting, streaming. That you don't even with multiple devices you need that's enough. Plenty.
mm,
Overkill maybe, but it's the but again, most people don't do what we're doing. But the upload for streaming, you got to have a little bit of overhead, account for a little overhead. So yeah, while I have 10, you know, I voice chat, the game, and other things going on in the background, kind of eat up into that. So I can, pushing 56 right now, and I'm not
mm,
dropping frames. But I suppose if I tried to go over 6, that might not be enough overhead for, oh, Windows wants to not do an update, but want to download or go Chrome or, well, I'm not using it. But anyway, whatever. Web browser wants to update and again, because I'm
mm,
monitoring restream and all that, so that's used up and
mm,
that's the thing where you're going to have whatever you're going to have, but at least it's going to be balanced and it's going to be your upload is going to be more than 10. I can add.
yeah,
You have 50 to 100 up. So you'll never have to worry about overhead. I mean, you just won't even have to think.
yeah.
And then your future
Mm,
that Wi-Fi wireless stuff. Yeah, it'll always get better and better too. Like in cable, gotten better and better, and they've increased out making you have to pay. But again, make it lopsided. Like,
yeah.
like I say, I'd settle for like 150 down if I could also. I guess that's.
Hmm,
I guess that's kind of because I do have like an app where I can watch traffic and even then watching you, then
mm,
and we're messing on our. We're not even touching even like 70 or 80 a lot of times.
yeah.
When I've had company, or sister, when I've had like 4, 5, 6 phones going at the same time. It's
Yeah.
that's why they market like, oh, well, yeah, well, you're a unique case, but you're just you. And
Mm,
like I said, the upload's important, but again, got enough as it is, and better and about. I rarely ever know watching you any stuttering. I mean, it happens, but like you wouldn't notice. I mean, on my end as a viewer, because internet slowing down or something, you're not gonna know. Viewers know, but I
mm,
I rarely ever notice. once in a while it'll chop here. I think
So, what'd you think of the other thing? One of the other things I was going to ask her, it was, um, so what do you think of Expedition
Expedition.
Mudrunner?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't get to see much of it. We got up. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I guess we're up, but
you didn't, but you kind of caught like the best part of the whole stream that I had. So
yeah, well, we were got up a little late and then wasn't able to pay attention, log on and then pay attention out over. But it's it looks like kind of what I thought. Um, what it'd be. It looks good.
yeah,
Looks I'd say hard to say till it's on my rig, but it looks better than this game. I guess.
yeah,
The
yeah.
terrain and stuff.
Well, it's also like 2.5 years newer though
Yeah.
too. I it was about like what I expected. It's a little bit of frustration. I had a little bit last week, but that was more so I put that towards I don't play those kind of games very often. Um and so to have to learn it, I just get frustrated when I have to learn things. It's just unfortunately it's just part of my process.
Well, that's the thing.
Always
I hope
always
it's
has
enough of
been.
a pick up and play kind of thing a little.
It does have a tutorial and it does kind of teach you how to play it. And then the missions are kind of set up so that it teaches you more and more as you go along.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean I'm talking like the
yeah.
intuitive enough, or at least like this. I have to look at the little
But that's what the
menus.
tutorial teaches you is how the controls work.
Well, that good. So, I know.
You can't. Well, I guess you can, but like that, where I started at. See, that's the part you kind of miss. Is I went through that tutorial like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
exactly. And I, we what the hell? We stayed up late. Well, we were out late or up late. Didn't get didn't get on.
yeah.
I could tell. It's like, oh yeah, you were probably doing tutorials. So yeah, I missed some.
I'm gonna I was kind of because I didn't stream Saturday, and so I've been holding off on doing out of out of war for like 2 weeks because I want to stream what I'm gonna do next,
Yeah.
and uh and then it's like, well, I get that game last weekend, and I was like, well, since I just got it, I probably better try it out. And so like this weekend I'm kind of looking forward to. I'll probably play it tomorrow, and then on Sunday I'm gonna finally get to what I want to on Out of War because I've been playing Out of War off stream, and um I've kind of been holding myself up on going anywhere with it. So I'd like to get it going again.
Well, that made me think when you said that. Made me think of Minecraft. Um, I haven't got it yet. It's not going to be till after he gets out of school. But yeah, checked out another Minecraft book at the library, but this is like Mahjong's like it's from like 20, their official like or like exploration or something, like their official guide. Like it's a I want to say how to, but it's a get you familiar with everything kind of the icons on things are so landscapes. We're just getting into it. But I mean, it's a thick like paperback book, and we're reading it, and I'm like, of course, this is for like playing like survival and
Mm-hmm.
it's but right now we're in like mobs, so it's going through how they spawn, where they spawn, how often drop, what. I mean, it doesn't tell you, oh, well, you this. It just says, this or there. But,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but it's like, and I knew it was deep, but I'm like, he's not gonna get that or out of the gate. He is not gonna figure out that depth. I mean, it'll just take him probably out of the gate,
Yeah.
or the very very beginner. But like his friend that what you should,
Mm-hmm.
he plays it on, and it was going through. That's right. This book's old, so it only it shows top Xbox, X 60, all in that. And I'm okay. Well, you're going to be playing. Just know you're playing it on desktop. Which which version he's playing, or in it's like I said, the book says most part it's the same, but it also mentions goes over controls and showing the keyboard. Like we'll 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 see, because I told him I have no idea how to play it, so you have to figure.
Yeah.
And he will, but
Well, the good part is it's whatever he wants to make it be
yeah,
too. So
yeah. Well, it's just
he'll play it however he thinks is fun.
it's going through like telling you all about resource, heavy resource.
Yep. That's why I was like, I really get into mining in that game. Um, and I just like to start tearing apart mountains and seeing what's in them, seeing what I can collect.
Well, and I believe that's where he's going to gravitate, because that's what his other more similar books talked about, is like big part of mine. Really, up a lava flow,
Yep.
stuff like that. But I think his friend, does more survival stuff, antique things.
Well, you can use TNT in any
Well, I'm
mode.
sure, but like he's talking about zombie, the bad,
Yeah,
and a lot of the bad
to make
guys.
dynamite, you're gonna need creepers. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he's using in the context of survival mode.
yeah.
But like I said,
Yeah.
But yeah, it won't be till after the end of May. Ways to go. Turning it. Been a couple of things. Oh, well, extended it where you can. It's only happened once. Well, and we played a little bit more with my toy. But yeah, I finally pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I almost did it, and I was well, it's getting warmer out. We, drive it on our
Mm-hmm.
area, rocks and walking trail like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we were just and I made my unboxing. Well, it's not out yet, but it's coming. I guess.
Okay.
Tomorrow. But and I don't go into huge detail because there's been reviews of it.
Yeah, I always think about that when I, granted I haven't done one for a while, but I always think about that when because like there's already so many videos on this. It's
Well,
like
that's the thing.
this has just got to be more about me being surprised than.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. It's more about and well, here's why I decided to pick one up. I watched a bunch. That's the thing. They I watched about five, and after about the third one, pretty repetitive because they were all saying pretty much the same thing. Hey, it's a good RC. The one that sold me on it was a review that put it up against Traxxas kind of version. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now the only there's pros and cons to both of them. I guess I'll go through it. Is because I almost and actually the hobby store far away from me has the Traxxas stock, and they're the same exact price. That was the thing I couldn't decide. That's kind of why I kept not getting it, is because I was hemming and hawing and hemming and hawing. Hell, and they got parts right there for it, and this one you can't get. That's not really a negative, you know. But
Yeah.
but I guess it was more like, well, I can touch and feel the other. I've seen other FMS models in person, not this one. Anyhow, what the main thing that told me is that review, and they both performed well, but really drew me to this one. Partly the long bed. The other one was a short bed, or short. Well, it was a short bed, but also a shorter wheelbase, which is better for crawling around. But for what I wanted to do, or what I want to do, it, I want the long bed. But also the main thing. So that's more aesthetics. But main thing was this has a 2-speed trans, so it has the low crawls like the Traxxas, but it also has high, which actually goes faster than a walking. You can actually drive it and walk. Where Traxxas is just speed and arguably slow. I mean, it's scale. It's more scale,
Mm-hmm.
and but like, okay, if we go up to Mount Falcon or up in the mountains and like walking on walking trails, and well, have to I'd have to carry the other. I'd have to carry the Traxxas. For this one, I could just drive it. It'll go faster than. And you can still drive it slow, high gear. It just and sometimes garden there is because of the dirt, dug a hole stuff. I needed to shift into high to get the wheel speed. Bigger claw, go and claw out of the low speed
Yeah.
down the wheel. That was kind of the other thing. Reviewer sold me on. Well, it's like I don't need to that kind of. I mean, I might do that in a. But the unboxing just hey, this is. I bought some extra parts too. I want to have two bodies, and that was a negative of this is bodies you have to take them apart, change them. Praxis they made it basically kind of a magnetic flopping up. There's a F1 similar instead of a square body Chevy. There's mid to late 70s Ford F-150 Ford van. Those it's the same chassis. You could have back and forth customized bodies and just and this I'm gonna have to take it apart, take the lights out, and I mean it's not hard. But
Yeah.
I didn't really because like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do with this current body, and I'm not quite sure, and mostly probably have it on, but then I might the other one.
Well, I always like to keep one as a show body, like when you put it on the shelf, and then one that you could, if you wreck it and you scratch it up or whatever, then that's okay.
Well, right, and
You
that's
know.
kind of what this is. It's just the changeover pick.
Yeah.
But anyway, the main thing was as far as suspension. Well, this had more ground clearance. It has like portal axle, and isn't realistic to fair body Chevy, but performance wise, I can tell it's nice having that extra uh, down the center ground clearance. Where the Traxxas, like the previous version of this, had additional pumpkins in the center pickup type of axles get hung up on.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing with track, but that lends to more realism. Traxxas actually have instead of coil over shocks, you could have actual leaf spring too. On this is somewhere in between shows, and there's a good aftermarket. There's printing sites. There's things that print, accessory wise that
Mm-hmm.
out stuff I designed myself. Well, they've already done some of the work on like a tube bumper. Well, I want it to look exactly or like a flatbed. I saw a guy that made them. You can buy them on eBay. Yes, but it quite what I flatbed because it's more of a service truck where it has like toolboxes down below. Well, I'd kind of be like more of the farm flatbed. Not really a. I wouldn't want to put a hydro bed, but that kind of flatbed. And then I receiver hit. I mean, that's the thing. Praxis one their own.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just had it wired up, and this has more like a pintle. Praxis, theirs is a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's little difference in that, but I'm probably gonna make my own kind of hitch to be universal for all the toy trailers and things we already have. Even though I know realistic, on the fly. Now, can't pull it through the grass mostly because the trailer, but
Mm-hmm.
it and the that trailer I that it was pulling is, it's pretty heavy and not um lightweight, but
Yeah.
it the motor wasn't even struggling. I got some like so I'll probably make a flatbed. Plenty of like toys that I've saved for kind of this reason. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, this is Farming Simulator.
oh
Um,
hey, yeah.
this is FS22.
Yep.
This is we're on no man's land. We been kind of building our own thing here.
Over a year. Just about. Maybe not quite a year.
I don't remember when we
I
originally
don't
started
know.
this map.
Thanks for joining in. Donate $, super chat. Appreciate it if you would, or join the channel if you want, or just sit back and watch. Yeah, but anyway,
We usually stream on Friday nights. We haven't the last couple, but this is our usual multiplayer night.
yep. Usually
Or it
try to
has
keep
been.
usually try to keep on schedule. Life gets in the
Yeah.
way some.
Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully I don't bot or not. Doesn't seem
No.
because it says it was.
I guess
It
we'll.
actually named the game by.
Yeah.
Maybe it.
Yeah. I had a busy weekend of multiplaying because tomorrow Casual and I are playing. We were supposed to play 2 weeks ago, and I did that 3 mile run, and I come back, and he was already on a different map, and I didn't interrupt him. I didn't want to interrupt him, and so then last weekend I couldn't because I had my mom's birthday along with some other cousins, and we celebrated.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to the RC. They like, and I posted a thing to Facebook making roads and it's so.
I like the one picture you sent with the. It was just perfect. I don't know if you set it up that way or if it was just the way the toys were in the back, but you had that big John Deere tractor in the
Yeah,
background
no, actually
as it was trying to.
Katie took that because I was like, well, here, just get some pictures. We weren't even trying. Yeah, farm sim is fun. I mean, we're ex we come we're off the farm, I guess. You say ex
Yeah,
farmers, but we're farm kids, ex farm, I guess.
we kind of grew up finding this stuff relaxing.
Oh yeah, I just saw you read the title, and yeah, because I made my title of my. It's raining, and I heard a tornado. Yeah, we are, but some of our friends and family are near some bad weather. I mean, it is
Yeah,
bad
yeah
weather
my
right now, but not where I'm at.
My
rain.
cousin was a mile away from the ones that hit Elkhorn
Yeah, I was
because
telling my folks that I for some reason I thought working like Waverly. I
he
forget.
used to. Now he works in downtown Lincoln.
Okay.
Because if he was working in Waverly, that would have been a lot more closer.
Speaking, we're watching the storm. I mean, where are you from, roughly? Give it exact. Not asking for an exact location. Uh, well, yeah, they are. We've been in contact.
It was amazing how many miles, because usually tornadoes like drop and then they may go for a mile or two and
Yeah, and then they're
pick back
out.
up. And these were going like um the one went from Lincoln to Omaha, which is I'm guessing here about 60 miles roughly, because it
That's
takes roughly an hour to get between the two towns. And
well,
then
exactly.
there was another one on the other side of Council Bluffs that was down for probably 30 to 45 minutes
Oh, okay,
at
Idaho.
least.
Welcome, buds. But yeah, we're talking about is tornadoes that hit Nebraska capital and the largest
Yeah.
city
I
there.
guess I guess over north of Kearney they had a little it was what you call a rope tornado. It was just a little one. And that was just after or just around lunch.
Yeah, again, we just had hail and but it's supposed to turn snow later on, and it's like I said earlier or before, it's my country, which we weren't planning on to make it check on.
Yeah.
Hell, Idaho. Guess I wonder if Eric got it.
Um, no, I doubt it. Well, I guess they could have, but I think their day was supposed to be tomorrow because this thing just keeps tracking east. I think their potential is tomorrow because it was supposed to be spitting out these funnels all the way through Sunday. They said,
Yeah, just well, but a hail and but a hail and stuff. A little too for us. It's a little too early for that.
"Well, that's what it's like." I mean, it isn't too early for us per se, but usually when it starts this early, it's like you've still got because around here it goes through June before it finally kind of stops. I mean, you can still get bad weather, but
Yeah,
um, it kind of isn't as bad and kind of stops for the season. and I'm like, we've still got 2 months of this left.
Yeah. We can get 6 inches of snow on Memorial Day here. That's
Yeah,
always a potential. Kind of like getting a blizzard on Halloween is a possibility.
yeah.
But yeah, I was coworker. Hey, Starman,
Hello.
welcome in. New, I don't recognize your name.
Did you watch through the videos like Jason was sending?
Just a little bit. I mean, I was at work at the time, so I couldn't really. I wanted
The
to have
last
that live stream up, but I
well,
couldn't. I watched a couple.
oh, I don't. I have. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I've talked about it because I have a certain one that I follow on Twitch that
Right.
I watch, but he sent one video. Evidently, one of them hit one of the Omaha airport, and so you could see all the damage there. Yep, we're just chit chatting and farming,
Yep.
windrowing.
Like we always do. Just to cut.
We'll
We're a
probably be
couple old friends since childhood.
yeah, we'll probably be picking up hay for fermenting.
Yep. Make that
We keep we
cash.
keep it we keep putting off stuff, but we're trying to get enough money that we can actually have a great vineyard on this map,
Yeah. So
and we're trying to make a.
make wine.
I don't know if
I
we're.
guess
I don't know if we'll get there, but we've been trying to make a motocross track.
we can dream. That's like how real farming is. You got all these ambitions, but just got to get the work.
Yeah.
Like I said, it hits sometimes this hits a little too close to home.
Well, and I have this set up like on easy economy and everything.
We did, well, God, it's been
Well,
about a year.
I guess technically not wine. It's grape juice, but
Let it
we can
ferment.
call it wine. It's our farm. We can call it whatever we want.
Well, a little over a year ago when we were asking, man.
Yep. On Green Valley, but that was because that was a third party map.
Yeah, and we had our other buddy who hasn't been able to join us. His work doesn't always line up our stream time. Old friends who were we live in different states, but touch and perfect and easy way to. Back in the days before streaming, we used to burn up the minutes on the cell phone plans talking.
Not necessarily about anything in particular. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes we do, but
Well, and that was back when we were racing motors.
yeah. Speaking of that, the Elmo motocross got rained out.
I saw Jesse posted that about that. oh, if I'd get myself back in shape, I'd like to go vintage bike. I don't know if I could do.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about it. Well, even today, because they're about 10 to 15 younger than me. Just turning. Oh,
We
but but I got
we
to
gotta.
thinking, those when we used to ride every weekend, or sometimes during the, but every weekend at least, and we just
Mhm.
8 hours, 8-10 hours, like almost nonstop in the heat too. Some of the
Yep,
100-degree
yep. It didn't
days.
matter. It didn't matter the temp. We were always out
Oh
there.
God, and I'm like,
If it was 100 degrees, we might actually quit a little bit early. But
yeah. Well, and then we go back to one of our places, watch motorcycle video, stay up to all hours. I don't.
yep,
I just and then yeah, I'd be sore the next day, but I'd recover in about a day, and then we again, I don't know. I energy.
yeah. We gotta. Most of us at work are about the same age in my room, except for um, we have one 29-year-old, and we give him so much crap. Like, just look what you have to look forward to. It's like,
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like talking about when did you graduate? Told them like they're like Gardner or something like that. I don't know, kindergarten, but they were elementary school or whatever.
the thing that's really um kind of funny about this kid is the movies he's watched compared to like the movies we watch. So his he's rough. He was born roughly about 15 years later than I am, roughly.
Yeah,
And the movies that him and his parents watch are like Adam Sandler films, so like Billy Madison and
right.
um some of those kind of films. And he hasn't like we have found so many films that he hasn't seen. Like the other day we were just talking about Caddyshack
Oh, okay.
and stuff like that. It's like, dude, you should really watch this stuff. And he's like, I'm not gonna go back and watch that. And I was like, oh, you really should go watch this
I mean, it's
stuff.
cinema history. Well, it's just like the John Hughes, not just the Rat Pack stuff, but like yeah, like that one, Trading Places. Um, yeah, all those kind of.
Kind of, yeah,
Well, they're
classics. Kind of,
they're classics now, but they were just movies when we.
yeah.
I mean, some of them you knew were in. Others took a little bit to get going.
Well, it's not like I don't like the movies that he's talking about. The Adam Sandler stuff, but it's like, man, you thought if you think that was funny, you should go back and you should watch some of these others too. You probably would like them.
Well, yeah. Well, and the thing is not necessarily like a Billy Madison movie. Some of those movies that era reference those earlier movies. So it's like, oh, you won't
Yep.
get the joke if you haven't seen Caddyshack or something. It gets referenced elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's more when we get to TV. I mean, that is like I was way too old. Well, kind of like the whole Pokemon.
Yeah, I was
It's like
not
these
at
are these are
the.
full grown adults, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play Pokemon Go this week." It's like okay, or they're talking about whatever and the Pokemon game could be 25 years old now, 20 to 25 years old, but it's like I don't even know what that game's about.
I
Uh,
kind of do.
Well, I guess I kind of do, but I kind of don't. It's like, but I just know it's a phenomenon, and I just, I don't get, I it just missed me. I mean, I was just too old or something because it started high school.
Not Pokemon Go, but
Not
Pokemon
go,
did.
no,
Yeah,
just Pokemon. You know,
yeah. See, that's what like I think we were at the age where it was just a little bit too far behind us.
but because I mean, I totally remember the episode, South Park episode, lampooning the station. And it's like, I got the joke of the episode, but like I I barely got jokes like, "Oh, I got shoe," whatever. And like I get it, there was cards and that, but if they made a reference to a super rare Charizard or something, it's like, I mean, I would understand that that's supposed to be a funny joke, but I don't understand why it's funny because I don't understand exactly what a Charizard in the
Yeah,
world in the universe Pokemon.
yeah,
Why it rare and not something else? Oh, and the whole different, like there was Game Boy games or whatever, Pokemon Gold or Silver, colors. Like what? That's where I'm at. It's like okay, this one's rarer than this, right? Kind of thing. I don't get it.
yeah,
Doesn't mean it's bad. I just man, I have no context.
yeah.
But to that point, like I have context for like when there's a meme like a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas meme. Like, oh yeah, I get that. Okay, CJ from like or big or now I'm gonna say it wrong. Big smokes or whatever.
Yeah,
Like I can get that reference. Yes, because that was more targeted towards my age.
speaking of that, I think Casual and I are gonna have another multiplayer on that. Except we're gonna use my world on it this next time because he was gonna try and help me get a little bit more advanced than mine. But we found out, I think in mine, for I think he might have it too. He just decided not to do any of them, or he's still playing off of his original version. Because in my world, all the missions are there, and so I was trying to get through. I was gonna try and get through some of them. I'm just trying to make money
Right.
on the game. All right, you want to finish that up,
Yep.
and I guess I'll go grab one of the loaders and start loading.
Yeah, going back to TV, we had our cartoons. They had Doug. Again, I knew what they were because again, I saw the advertisements. Never actually watched the show. But they were talking about how they went back when, for them it didn't hold. I used to like this.
Yeah.
And, that a lot of things. I think like our cartoon, Bugs Bunnies, that kind of, can stand the test of time.
Well, and they're those shows like they're funny as a kid, but you can as an adult they're they're still interesting too because you don't realize as a kid how much adult
Yeah, I mean, there's
stuff
actually
is
some
going
like
on in them.
exactly either tongue in cheek stuff or even some of them are there's a little bit of political humor thrown in
Yeah.
there. Nothing too racy, but political humor. But yeah, yeah, that's. I mean, there. Can't think. Well, I know my kids watch Garfield originals that a lot. Again, it's one holds up a little better because his dry, Garfield character's dry humor. Yeah, the storylines are definitely kind of basic, follow it, but there's there is pop culture all sprinkled through like that
Yeah.
references famous movie stars or even kind of poking fun at TV and media and advertising of the and back then infomercials of cartoons. It actually sort of it's got some smart humor that again I barely picked up as a kid, but like I can watch it with them and um, and laugh at some of the snark that's kind of tacked on.
Yeah.
That's one. Again, I don't think definitely today cartoons don't do that, but
You know.
90 90s cartoon, late 90s stuff, Nickelodeon stuff didn't always have.
Yeah. The gal friend's boy, he watches a lot of I haven't quite figured out the game and he's tried to tell me what it is before. Um
And
but
how
it's
old is
like
he? Age or
he's 10.
okay.
He's 10. Um it's a Lego game, but the guy who watches either is playing in like a creative kind of mode. There's like he can build whatever he wants to, basically. And so what they do each episode is like they sometimes he's with people, sometimes he's like accepting challenges from his audience. Um some suggestions from the audience, but they challenge him by like you got to build something for like I don't know one of the last ones we watched they had him build like Tron vehicles, not necessarily motorcycles and not necessarily anything else, just but they had to be very Tron like and even though they couldn't do all the elements of Tron, they had it set up so that there was a it did drop something so that there was a wall that was behind them, and
Okay.
um
Yeah.
there's been other challenges where like they built boats and they had to shoot missiles at each other, and then one challenge was the one guy built a small plane and the other guy built a big plane, and the small plane had to land inside the cargo bay of the big plane
Oh.
in midair, and just different things like that. I actually he loves watching them, and I actually kind of find it interesting. Or well, I shouldn't say kinda. I do find it interesting. So I'm sitting there when he's got it on. I'll sit there and watch it with him.
Yeah.
He was interested about farm sim. Um, he's been over here once, and I've got a map. I started him on Elm Creek to kind of teach him
Yeah. Well, that's
with those small fields and everything. And I knew he was only going to get like half an hour, maybe at the most at that time.
yeah.
So I didn't want to start him off on something too big.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah, I got to the point. Well, I mean, I just burn out on maps, and that one I'm burned out on. This one I probably would have never played if we weren't playing on all multiplayer because I played it in 19.
yeah. Well, and it's small.
Yeah, well, yeah, to build what we're building and doing, and we can do basically. There's no. I mean, Farm Sim is a sandbox, anyways, but this place is just we can do whatever we want to.
Yeah. I don't know. Tucker might get a little,
So,
maybe.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have a. I think I'm gonna have a pretty busy weekend with streaming tomorrow, and then I gotta call the gal friend, girlfriend, or whatever you want to call her. I still like to call her gal friend, even though she's pretty much a girlfriend. Um, but I think I'm gonna go. I gotta call her and see what she's doing on Sunday. Because I got some stuff over at her house that need to do, and um, see if she wants to just go and hang out and do some stuff. I think the flowers are finally out, so I wanted to go see if they had my black ones.
Oh, yeah. That because we all week
Mm-hmm.
get it done. About getting that time to start.
Yep, that's
It'll be
it.
a long yet
That's it.
before planting anything, but got seedlings.
I've I've had my lawn is getting to the point it's like needs to be mowed, and I'm like I'm at that point where it's like I need to get my runs in at the gym to keep in shape and keep going the way that I'm going, but I'm like I I got like two or three things I need to do at home too. It's like what do you choose?
Yeah. Up Randall. That and I need to dedicate at least day on the got to replace the storm doors, but I also back door got to and it's part of it is have a window and
Yeah.
break the glass, and never happened. It's days. It's more apt to happen now than ever. So
Yeah.
and it's easy to do it when there's nobody in there. But not so, because all my other work I can kind of do, heal it out after work, a couple hours. This more than 2 hours, start to finish. Got out of there again. I got to have better part of the day so I can get it done, get the house back secured.
Yeah.
And I've been I gotta say, I've been, then I got, once I get that done, then I can get the carpet. That won't, and duct clean.
Yeah.
Well, and part of it, before we had kids, we just balls, and with weeks we'd have it turned around.
Yeah.
Well, and I used to do that after work. Then down there, she'd come, and then lock at night.
Yeah.
I just, that's the thing, just like the riding, and I I almost, I just can't go that hard that long without feeling it
No.
for days later. I mean, I can, but I pay for it later
Yeah.
on this hard floor, bending over across the floor, measuring that. And
Yeah.
got the paint. I just, Katie doesn't.
I don't
I
I
hate.
don't mind painting most things. It's the only time I really don't like it is when you're like on a ladder and you're kind of cramped. You're kind of have to reach a high spot or something that's uncomfortable, and it's hard to get the ladder position just right. And other than that, I don't mind painting so much.
Yeah, I just, yeah, rolling kind of. I just don't like the cleanup. Well, I guess part of it is like, for example, I only have a finite amount of time to do it. So what I usually, I just I buy a bunch of roller covers, a bunch of good brushes, and rather than cleaning or wrapping them up, whatever, I just put them in the trash and start with a new brush the next day
Oh,
rather than cleaning.
yeah.
But I hate cutting in. And partly what I've been working here is painting, and then changing out some of the trim and things, and I changed colors. Something that next go around probably won't have to paint it'll, and then just
Yeah.
give it more.
Yeah.
I want, because I want to get, a train. Then I don't have to worry about them making rent.
That was a so
That's who I had
one of
before,
the
and they were great.
well that's what so one of the guys that remodeled where I work now, um he's a he owns a bunch of rentals, and him and his he remodeled them all, and then he's like he made the comment one day, well, what you do is you make sure that the house or whatever the rental is really really nice, so you have to charge a bit for it. And he goes, but if you do that, then you know the chances are more than likely you're gonna have really good tenants.
Yeah, no, that's definitely
It kind of keeps the others out.
it does. No, does. That's why I was sad. The had because I made it affordable enough, and again, I kept it nice. It was nice. I treated them nice, but they were able to save up and put a down payment on a house. That's why they moved out, is able to, while renting, able to save. And I mean, that's been my goal. That, yeah, they were really good because, like I said, I didn't, the stuff I'm replacing is just stuff that's been updated. Been 7 years, pretty long time for most.
Yeah,
Again, yeah, because I haven't been going
yeah,
as I there was family things too,
yeah,
kind of delay, priority that laid well, and partly like past. That's like we're getting to the point.
yeah,
I hate picking that that kind of stuff. Doesn't mind. I'll tear out a bathroom and kitchen and something, but I hate painting and I hate like that kind of.
yeah,
But like I've done, like, mechanical stuff I've replaced. Guess the other thing, I think, because that was the only thing broke on them, and but it's a pedestal sink. And inner bowl, they must have dropped, but the way it broke, it must have had a deep. I didn't.
just hit
It
just
just
right.
hit just right. I mean, I didn't charge. It definitely was. I could tell it was more.
Yeah,
They weren't. but I knew I was anyway, so I was gonna, even if it wasn't busted, I was gonna have to flooring anyway. So
Well, if we just talking about this map, if we get it's March right now, if we get another cutting at least off of this year, actually preferably have two. I bet we get enough money we can finally get our grapes. I don't know. We need. I think just for the picking machines, I think we need about a million and a half. I think the rest of it is fairly cheap, but just those machines, I think, are 700,000 a piece. So for two of them, we'll need a million and a half. We'll need special tractors for them because these are too. Unless we unless we make the rows big enough, these will be too big.
right. Well, I messed around on
Yeah.
field, messed around a little bit, so I kind of know.
Well, the good part about what we're doing is the rows will only be as big as we make them. So some of those pre-built maps are like they got them down to the minimum. So I definitely am glad we upgraded this though. I don't think
Oh yeah,
I think if we buy more fields, we're not going to be doing them in grass. We're
yeah.
going to
No,
be
what we'll do
eliminating
is
some of the grass.
do something else.
This is about um this is about too much, but we've got the equipment now to actually.
Yeah, it's yeah. I know what you mean. That's like this is about the max.
One, it's a good thing we've got two maps going too, because then that way, like we'll pick this, and then maybe next week go back to the other one or
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
I am thinking about. I was talking to Average about it last night. I am thinking about going back and getting a couple of the DLCs for Farm Sim 22. There was a uh, there was a baler that is it's got a cab on it. It's so basically it's kind of self-driving that I always kind of found kind of interesting. And then I was thinking about going and getting the platinum edition with that silver. Is it silver run? Um, More so to get some of the logging equipment that's in it than anything else. Although that would be a fun one. There's a roller coaster that you can build on it, but it takes a lot of productions to get it.
Why a roller coaster?
I think it was just something to give some people a challenge to build. So it's a logging map for the most part, so it's a wooden roller coaster. But you have to, and then there's some mining on it too. But it's not like mining like I'm doing or some of the other maps that I've got. It's just a like an elevator that sticks out of a hill, and you just collect the iron out of it and dump it into another point. But basically, you got to make the timber and the nails and everything, or bolts or whatever holds it together. You got to manufacture it all, and then you got to put it all together, and then you actually get to ride it when it's done. I don't, like I said, I don't know the map itself is actually very heavily production oriented, but that's not the reason I want it. The reason I'm thinking of it is there's a yarder in there. There's some different um there's a tracked log cutter, like tree cutter. There's just some different things like that, and so it's just some different toys to play with, and you can't really. I think someone said maybe you could get the Arters third party, but they're like bigger or something like that. They're not quite the same, and um, the other thing is I was like thinking about using Truck and Jay's. He's got a code because he's a giant partner, and I think you get a little bit of a discount on that stuff, like 20% or something. So it was like, I might as well, because if he uses his code, then that gives him points or whatever. And so then I was like, well, maybe I'll help him out, a little bit by buying something too. Speaking of that, I have been looking. I just kind of gave me the idea to figure out what it would take to become a Giants partner, because that's what it is. It's a Giants partner program.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, where he gets a discount code. And I think from what I saw, because it's based off of how long you've been streaming. You have to have, I think you have to have streams that are at least 3 years old, and it's based off of how many followers you have. Not just on Twitch, but also on it counts stuff like your Instagram and stuff. Well, if and I don't know how closely they watch this stuff, but my Instagram, and I know a lot of, probably 90% of them are just like spam,
Yeah,
but
bots,
um,
normal.
bots, bots and stuff. But I've almost got enough to. I'm like 500 away from actually having enough points to be in it. So I'm like, wait a little bit longer. I might actually try that, see if I can get it. Which I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which made me kind of rethink if I want to buy Farm Sim from Giants or if I want to buy them from Steam, like I was thinking. I think I might buy it from Giants that way, and then like if I don't have the code in time, or if I don't have a get into the program or something, I'll use like Truck and J's or something
Yeah.
um to get it next time, and then and then hopefully the time after that I'll be I'll be in the program. I just think it'd be kind of cool, just something else to just say I achieved.
That's the thing. There won't now or
Yeah. Well, and especially where I'm like, I think you have to have like 1,500 points to get it, and I'm only 500 away from getting it. So I'm like, it's achievable. Like I said, as long as they don't go through my Instagram and be like, well, that's a bot, that's a bot, that's a bot, that's a bot.
yeah. I don't know. They probably don't care too much. You know, they're still making they're they're still making
Well,
money, and it's
well,
advertising.
that's exactly that's the thing is even if they are bots or even if they're like accounts that are just trying to get you to go to them, if they're seeing your post and you're posting something about um giants, they're still seeing it in theory.
Well, what I mean is giants. Like they're still, it's they're still they've already recouped most all the development cost of this game now.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah,
even though they
they surely
discounted
have.
it to you, somebody who's they're still making making
Yeah.
and they're getting advertised. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it'll be once you meet the requirements. I think it'll be hard.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And
Like
I
they won't
have everything I've
scrutinize
ever
it that
streamed on YouTube, so getting the old YouTube streams, and just the only thing I'd want to do there is I maybe would want to watch the ones that I send them. Like I may want to watch them through before I send them. Kind of pick and choose a little bit. But But yeah, like basically I have almost everything. I just need 500 more points, and I think Instagram is, I think each follower is a a point, and I think that's probably where I'm more than likely gonna get everybody that I need is more on Instagram than anything else. I mean, my Twitch followers help. My YouTube follows, I don't have enough to to count, but between Twitch and Instagram, um, camera, one of them counts as two. Might be Twitch. One of them counts as two, and I'm like, but I think Instagram counts as one. I could use my Facebook, but my Facebook account is private.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, I public page. I haven't, and what I should do is, yeah, I am in all. I would join as my, not all the groups. Some people find it. I don't. Well, I don't post to it. I don't maximize. I mean,
Yeah,
Facebook is kind of, but people are there and stuff. Audiences
yeah,
have to. That's the time. Is it? YouTube's been the spot that I engagement. It's most of my,
yeah,
but it's not like my. I know that, so that's why I don't sore about any of it. I don't. I don't put in work to make it like, oh, I do what I do get or does do
yep.
enough.
I was I was more than shocked for what I got um paid out. I didn't know if I was gonna get paid $2 or if I was gonna get paid more than that. So I was really shocked when it was as much as it was.
Yeah. Well, and
And then
it'll
it was like
slowly.
I was telling them at work, you know, not that they, not that they overly care about that stuff because they're just not into this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
they, but they know I am, so they let me babble on about it. But, uh, um, it's like I told them at work. It's like basically I paid for that expedition off road, the game itself, plus I had a
By
little bit
playing
extra
games.
for the for I basically had a little bit extra that I could pay for the some of the extras, and then I'm like, well, it's only $20 more if I want everything. I was like, well, why not throw the extra 20 at it? It's
Yeah,
like I
because
already
you're
got
gonna play
everything
the
else for
games.
free.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna play the game anyways.
that's where I originally wasn't gonna get the DLCs for this game, and I haven't. But then I kind of got to thinking about it. It's like, those two DLCs that I really want, I probably would get my money's worth out of them, even if they're like $20 a piece. I'm like, I play this game so much, and those DLCs, like the one's been out for like 2.5 years, 2 years, and it's like, and I still kind of want it. So it's like, yeah, even if there's only 6 months left, probably use the machine. It's just something new to play around with for content. I know that logging one. If I got that one casual, and I would probably use it on our logging maps. So because he's got that stuff. I don't know. There's still hemming and hawing over if we're gonna have a new game or not this fall. But I keep telling people that kind of say that we're not. Is like they're not gonna announce it till probably around July anyways. I'm like just wait till July, and if they don't announce it, then yeah, we're probably going another year. But I think there's too many rumors going around. I think that I guess my opinion right now is like there's so many rumors going around about a new game that I think they had to have come from somewhere. Someone created that kind of buzz. And
Yeah.
it wasn't the gamers that did it. It was the developer that did it. Even though they'll deny it. I don't know if we're gonna get this all done tonight.
No, I was gonna say after my wagon's half full after it.
Okay, I'm just gonna be able. I think we're about the same levels, so that looks about right.
Yeah, because getting up on. That's about what we do. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. And again, the ones that go like consistently, even like that kit boat. He must enjoy it, but it would be tough to just be on.
Well, but if you watch him, there's days he struggles trying to get through the stream. Like, what do I do now? I'm kind of bored with this.
Well,
Let's.
yeah, but he's got hundreds watching times thousands. Oh yeah, that's yeah. I don't get to watch
And
him.
the other thing is, I think he kind of that's his job. So
Well, it is his.
that's what he chose for. Yeah, that's what he chose for a career. So he can't just shut it down because that's his paycheck.
Well, not shut it down, but I mean, shut a stream down. And I know
Well,
he's
that's
doing
what
a
I
lot of
meant.
stuff in the background with kind of like his gauntlet and all that stuff. But Lipton cracking, working with there's people. So it's not like he's
Yeah.
not doing streaming, but it's just uh having to be entertaining enough to sound and conversation going for that long.
Well, there was it last week or the week before? Whenever I caught his stream last, um, because I don't always watch, just every once in a while when it happens to be on, then I watch over a little bit over lunch or something. He was he wasn't even calling anybody. He was like trying to. Oh, I know what it was. He was trying to program an AI thing to do the answering for him.
Yeah.
Like to answer all the questions for him.
Well, and I
And
like
I'm
me and
maybe
Katie, we watch
that's
his YouTube where he edits down basically good stuff. They can make power. And you can about how they're doing working the cams, but yeah, stream for hours or it's different than like we do 9 to 5 thing, 8 hour days, but you're not doing the same thing, or you don't have people watching you, I guess, constantly. But
How much do we have? I'm just curious. Oh, we've got 700 liters in there, and we've barely put a dent on that. Oh, you parked over
well, I
here?
decided I'm gonna get back to the start over.
Oh.
Anyway, well, I
I'm
think
gonna end my
I'll
stream here.
yeah, I'm